Hey guys, what's going on? Chad back with you here on the RC Models and More channel, and this is going to be starting a drone business part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, I recommend you go back and watch that before you watch this one, because there's going to be a few things that overlap between the two videos. Also, if you like what you see, consider subscribing. I'm going to be releasing these free how I'm running my business drone business videos every 1 to 2 weeks, depending upon what's happening. Also, all kinds of DJI content, Mavic Phantom 4 Pro, all that good stuff. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. We all know that helps, the whole YouTube spiel and everything like that. So I want to start off by saying that there was a lot of good discussion. I posted my first video to pretty much all of the DJI groups that I'm a member of on Facebook. A lot of good discussion on there, a lot of good comments and stuff that should help some people out that are looking to start a business or somewhere in the process. I also wanted to give a shout out to a long-time subscriber. I'm also a subscriber to his channel too, Bad Grendels. He's a fellow modeler. You know, I started this channel out building models, and then it's just kind of grown into what it is today because I do way more RC than model building, and I kind of like that, leaving to my personal self these days. He suggested QuickBooks for me to get into, which thanks a lot. Yeah, I'll have to talk to you about that one sometime. I have started using that though, just because it does make sense in the grand scheme of things. So it's been a big couple weeks. The first two big things, I passed my 107, got my temporary airman certificate printed off, and I also got my first gig and got paid for it. So how about that? Now, it wasn't the full rate that I plan on charging, just because if you go back to what I was talking about last week, you know, you have to start somewhere. We're kind of like starving artists. Unless you have tons and tons of video already and a nice demo reel and stuff like that that you can present to people, which is really the way I wanted to go, but we just kind of got ahead of ourselves a little bit as far as that kind of stuff goes, but it all worked out. Yeah, like I was talking about last week in the other video, you know, we kind of got to get that pro bono, just get that portfolio working. So the fiance made some cold calls, and we had one person call us up and say, look, we're ready to go. I want to see what you can kind of do. You know, come and shoot. It'll give you a couple addresses, a couple houses, and you know, I don't want you doing it for free. I'll pay you a little bit of something. And you know, the guy's been in real estate for years. He gave me some great advice. So basically, even though I didn't make my full rate, I still made a decent amount, and the knowledge and just how well that first experience worked for not being 100% prepared, and how grateful I am for the information that he gave me, it's going to go a long way in helping me progress. So those are the two big things I wanted to talk about. Let's get into what some of the next steps are that I have taken outside of that. Since I knew I was going to be getting paid, I knew that it was time to go ahead and get a business bank account set up, because I already had the LLC formed and everything like that. Last video, again, you go to the bank, set up a business account. It's basically just like setting up a regular checking account. The only thing different is that they have to look you up in the system, so you have to be able to provide them with your federal employee ID number, which is basically what you get when you register your business with the IRS, if you're going the legit way and not just charging people $300 or $400 or whatever for a memory card. So I'm trying to be as legit as possible, And I'm trying to use that to just set myself, you know, when I go in and speak to these realtors and these construction companies and stuff like that, I don't want to seem like I'm just some unorganized punk kid in there trying to fly my drones to make some money. I want to present them with data, with a good business plan, with a good video. So that is just comes back to what we talked about before, about all the work that goes into stuff like that. I'm still working on aspects of my business plan and a presentation and the demo reel. It's been hard to get out and shoot a lot extra. I really had a good break for a couple days. The timing was perfect to get the shots that I needed to get for the properties that were assigned to me. It's been raining and windy. I mean, the whole United States has just been getting basically destroyed the past couple weeks. So the big thing I'm focusing on now is creating that critical operating procedure binder, which basically has all of the documents in there that you can just show to your prospective clients, flip through them just to show that you are organized. Things like your safety and obstacle rounds I like to include in that, you know, so we can show them and tell them what our process is. We just don't roll up and start flying. We have things that we need to do to make sure that there's no kids and this and that, and the homeowners know what's going on and everything else. To our terms of service to protect our copyrights, letting them know what they can and can't do with our footage. Statement of work, which is basically your kind of like your contract that you're eventually going to sign. And I've been working on how to prepare that stuff electronically on the iPad iPad Pro 9.7 as well. So that way I can get signatures and everything like that. I can send all that stuff to them. And then with QuickBooks that I'm working on now, I can invoice them right there on the spot. I can take money. I've got the business bank account linked up to QuickBooks. So basically I deposit the check that I gave them into there. It shows my business. It keeps track of my taxes and everything like that for me. And then any little expenses right now that I want to go out and do, like whether, like I bought some ND filters for the Mavic, some heavy weight paper to print some things on. Little things like that, I can start running the debit card for the business and keep that stuff separate from my personal accounts, and just try to move as many things over to the actual business account as possible. So in the end, everything is a lot easier. Talk about the first experience. When you walk in, after you get done editing these videos and you've poured your heart and soul into them, I was really happy to see that I got genuine, excited, and good results. I don't really know how I would have handled it if they would have said that they weren't happy with it. My music choices were fit right in perfectly. I explained to them kind of the artistic connection and the vision I had for each property. You know, one was kind of a darker, mysterious, in the woods type of property. One was a larger home that would probably appeal to more millennials and stuff, that was in a subdivision. So the grading and the music and all that stuff that you and I know about, you're trying to just educate them. So a big lesson I took away from that was to try to just not get too technical when it came to explaining all that, and just using those moods, like using those words like, I thought this property was mysterious, that's why I chose this kind of music. I thought this property was exciting for young people, that's why I chose this. And that's why this one has these kind of color tones and this one has these kind of color tones. So, you know, they came off very well. They're very, very happy. I had everything on my iPad on a private YouTube channel to show them. I'm Not sure if that was the best idea or not, just because we actually went down into the basement where I didn't have LTE, so I had to hook, waste time and hook up to their Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So little fumbles like that really get you nervous and stuff. So I think the next time I will have them posted there, and then I will also have a USB stick to plug into a computer with a couple different renders on it, because you really don't know how powerful their computer is going to be. So you might have a 4K render and like a 720p or a 1080p render. So those are just a couple things to think about. To hopefully you won't have to go through. That will just kind of ease on your first transaction a little bit better. But in the end, like I said, everything worked out great. The experience couldn't have went better for my first, and I hope your guys' first experience goes the same. So that's going to do it for this video when it comes to starting your own drone business. Please ask away if you have any questions or anything like that. I really want to try to be a resource for you guys out there. The video hasn't got as many views on YouTube as I thought. Don't really care about the YouTube revenue for this or anything, but I really, when I see that these people have start your drone business today, just follow this link, and they've got 50,000-60,000 views, I'm like, how many people are actually paying for this stuff? Like, you don't need to pay for this. Many people, nobody's going to do this for you anyway. You still have to go out and do it. That's the thing. And a lot of the work is front heavy. I mean, I still haven't got started on the website yet and all that stuff. So you can see it's just a constant rolling mixture of things and life and a full-time job and everything else. So anyway, we're going to keep on going. 2017 is going to be a great year. We'll see you next time.